If you're earning six figures, tithing consistently, doing what you believe is right, but your financial system is still benefiting banks, lenders, and credit unions more than it's benefiting you and your family, then you may be following God spiritually, but missing out on how His economic system is designed and how you're missing out on it. Let me say this carefully. You're not losing because you're doing the wrong thing. You may be losing because your money is in the wrong system. See, each year, tens of thousands of dollars leave your control and never come back. Those dollars are not invested on your behalf. Those dollars are not multiplied on your behalf. Those dollars are not recaptured on your behalf. That money is just gone. And over a 10-year, 20-year, or 30-year period, that's not thousands of dollars. That's hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars that are transferred from your future. Let's deal with the facts. The average homeowner pays 2 to 3 times the purchase price of a property over time due to interest. Uninformed people make extra payments, overpaying even more than what they're overpaying for a 30-year mortgage. Most households spend 30 to 50% of their income servicing debt. The average person will pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest over their lifetime. How does that benefit the tither? It doesn't. Now look at a high income example. Let's take, for example, that a person has a $2,000 mortgage. I'm talking about just the principal and interest. And they have an $800 car note where they're paying out $9,600 a year. They have a $500 monthly credit card payment where they're paying out $6,000 a year. That's nearly $40,000 per year flowing where? Not to you, but to where? To the bank. Is that how the tither should be positioned financially? On a $100,000 income, a tither is going to give $10,000. That means that more than double is going to the lender than to your personal wealth, addressing your current and future financial needs, and kingdom expansion. So while they are obedient spiritually, they're giving, but they're still positioned financially as servants to the lender. That means that if there's a 40-hour work week, that means you're spending the significant portion of that time giving your money to the bank, acting as a slave to the bank. And that blocks the full expression of God's economic design and how it benefits you first. God never intended the tither to be the borrower or slave to the lender. Okay, now let's watch what happens when the same individual decides to follow the system that I teach called the Joseph 7-year strategy. So what we want to do is we want to restructure financial profile so that we can take the debt that we have in over a 7-year period or as little as 7 years. We want to transfer that debt into interest, cash reserve, and cash flow. There are actually 10 different miracles of money we want to apply, but for the sake of conversation and keeping this short, we want to take your debt and transfer it so that it is positioned to create interest for you, cash reserve for you, cash flow for you, profit for you, and velocity of money for you. So over a 7-year period, not only have you eliminated your debt, but rather than making payments to the bank, to your lender, to your credit union, you are now making payments back to you. So in the example that we just gave, that means that $40,000 is being paid back to you. Could you imagine paying $40,000 of debt and all of the payments are coming back to you? and you have $100,000 income, do you realize that that is equivalent to creating a 40% raise tax-free to yourself? Take control of what is promised to us as tithers and watch your money recycle back to you rather than to the lender. So here's what changes. First of all, what we want to do is we want to strategically reduce the debt while creating interest on it. We want to take our mortgage payments. We want to take our automobile payments. We want to take our consumer debt, our student loan payments, all the debt that we have. And we want to systematically reposition it back to you. Here, let me show you what I'm saying. When we look at my little notes here, we want to take, like as I just made mention, the mortgage payment, the auto payment, the consumer debt, against student loans, lines of credit, your boat payment. Some of you have just recently bought boats, and we want to reposition that money back to you so that the payments are no longer just expenses, but they become part of a controlled system that builds your wealth and increases capacity to increase what? Our tithes and offerings. Number three, we want to reclaim that cash flow. Thousands of dollars per year that is used to leave your control now does what? It begins to stay within a financial system that you control. Number three, we want to build the cash reserves, right? Over time, what we have found is that we often can accumulate a $100,000 cash reserve within that 7 years or much sooner. Not by working harder, ladies and gentlemen, not by being super disciplined in our budget, but simply by structuring our money to work harder than us. Number four, your net worth strengthens. I often have people tell me, well, I'm buying stock, well, I'm doing crypto, I'm doing real estate. It doesn't matter. You can do all of those wonderful things, but if you are not controlling your debt, you have a massive sinkhole, and despite the profits that you're making, your net worth is still negative. So, number four, we want to strengthen your net worth. We want to want to eliminate that debt. We want to retain cash reserves and improve positioning. This creates a pathway where net worth can be designed to grow significantly over time. Then the tither can now see how God's system is designed to benefit them. Ladies and gentlemen, as long as we continue to have 30%, 40%, 50%, 60% of our cash flow, of our income going to the bank, as long as our money is working for the bank and not for us. As long as we are working hard for money and our money is not working hard for us, we can continue to tithe, but we're still not realizing the favor of God to the degree that He intends it. See, real transformation starts with having that $40,000 a year paying back to you so that you have control, reducing our dependence on banks, increasing our reserves, so that we are now operating and thinking from a banker's mindset. We are now making decisions where we're building our wealth and not in a negative net worth position. Here's what most people don't realize. It is not just about getting out of debt, ladies and gentlemen. It's about what you lost while you were in it. So every debt payment that you make to the lender, to your credit union, to your financial institution, your credit cards, your mortgage is a dollar that you lose forever. That's missed opportunity for you. That's missed multiplication for you. And that's missing kingdom impact. Our money could have strengthened our families. Our money could have increased our giving. Our money could have built our future. But instead, we're strengthening the bank. And this is why scripture is so clear. Let's take a look at at some of the scriptures as it relates to this, because this is important as we talk about kingdom repositioning. So let's take a look at this. Let me show you this real quick. So we say we look at Deuteronomy 28 and 12, where it says, "You shall lend and not borrow." People quote this back to me and say, "Well, I loaned money to my cousin." That's not what this is talking about. That's chump change compared to where God is trying to position us. Until our debt is paying us interest, until our debt is paying us cash reserves, until our debt is paying us cash flow, until our debt is paying us profit, until our debt is paying us recycling and recapturing back to us, we are in the borrower's position. Proverbs 22 and 7. The borrower is what? Servant to the lender. Listen, family, let's rethink the way that we're handling our finances. Let's take control of our capital. Let's learn to multiply our resources. Let's actually track as we tithe that our resources are increasing, because the tithe is a financial benefit to the giver, but it is part of a process and a system that it all works together. So to follow one part of the system but not the other, we are forfeiting interest, we are forfeiting cash reserve, we are forfeiting cash flow, and we're giving that money away. So the real question is not, can I afford this? The real question is, how long are we willing to allow our money to build other people's financial systems instead of our own? If you're ready and you want to increase your capacity to give, you want to watch your tithes grow while your net worth grows, you want to watch your cash reserves grow while you're able to give more and strengthen your financial position and begin operating in alignment with God's system, comment Joseph, and I'm going to send you a free report along with a calendar to set up a 15-minute chat to talk about how do we reposition your financial system so that in 7 years you are completely debt-free without extra payments and giving even more money to the bank, doubling your cash reserves, doubling your cash flow without the need of a tenant or working harder. I look forward to seeing you soon. Be blessed.